I'll bet. I'm just gonna bet you're useless at promoting, right? That's
No, I'm actually one of the good ones.
Okay, you're so soft spoken, and you don't seem like you'd be good at it at all.
No, I shove it down people's throats as much as I can.
Do you?
The Todd Shapiro Show.
Hey, Brad J. Lamb, Mark Ford, a very famous, funny Canadian comedian.
Nice to meet you.
Hanging out today.
Yeah.
Brad, you good? Do you go to stand up at all?
I said nice to meet you, and he didn't. He said yeah. I just want to say if the rest of the interview was a bit awkward.
That's Brad Lamb's code word for very nice to meet you.
Oh, okay.
I'm a man of few words.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Welcome. It's really nice to meet you.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you too.
Oh, thank you. That's all I was looking for.
Would you ask me? What was the question?
Do you
you
go to stand-up comedy shows?
I fucking hate stand-up comedy. It is the biggest piece of shit entertainment out there.
You're joking.
No, of course I'm joking.
Okay, phew. Oh, okay.
No, I love stand-up, man. It's one of my favorite things to do. But the Yuck Yucks is kind of the place. Is it still open in Toronto?
Yeah, there's a couple
I think
Yuck
there's one
Yucks
on Richmond Street, right?
I think technically it's still open.
Yeah. I used to go to stand-up.
Are you not a big Yuck Yucks guy anymore, Mark?
No, I'm not a huge fan of what they do.
Well, because they own their talent. And it's a terrible way to be. I don't agree with that either. Especially in this day and age, you can never do that.
Yeah,
People
they don't take care of their talent either, or their rooms, or their.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's the thing. That the experience.
You had a bad experience.
Not a bad experience, but it's very formulaic, and I of course heard that before. But the thing is, it doesn't seem to me that many opportunities to go to stand up in Toronto. I might be wrong, and maybe I'm just missing them, but.
Yeah, you're probably just missing them. But the comedy bar is great at Ossington and Bloor.
See, I didn't
if you ever
even know
want to
there was
see
a comedy
something
bar
different, and also they bring in a lot of great American talent that's not mainstream.
Right.
So I would check it out. And they have shows 7 days a week.
Comedy bar,
Ossington and Bloor.
What are some other great venues, Mark?
That's it.
That's the one.
You got ownership stake in it, or
no? I don't actually, and I don't really promote anything ever, so it's weird. But no, that's the one I would go to if I was going to go see something, because I know I'm going to see something different, or I'm going to see at least people taking risks.
They do sort of do a lot of kind of pop-up shopping now type of stand-up comedy. Like say the Drake will do a night and things like that.
There's that stuff too. There's the Drake and there's the Alt Dot and there's the, there's tons of those shows too.
Do you like the feel of that for comedians where it's not a room that's sort of built for stand-up? Do you know what I mean?
I just think there's the clubs here. I can't speak for clubs around the world. There's some great Canadian clubs. There's one, Rumors in Winnipeg is a great club, and there's one in Vancouver that's great, but they just do it right. And I just think that Yuck Yucks is a franchise garbage hell of like come see a hamburger, not come see a great comedian.
Yeah,
that's all.
It seems to me though that the live comedian, it seems to me that it's peaked. Not that it should have peaked, but in the 80s and the 90s, there was a lot more. It seemed there was a lot more. Like there was the Laugh Resort. I remember going to a bunch. There was Yuck Yucks. There was places in New York I went to, and it just seems like maybe comedy's not doing a great job of promoting itself live.
It's possible. I think I don't want this all to be about me. Let's talk about you in a second. But
you don't really want to talk about me.
But I think you've probably grown up, and maybe don't
negatory.
maybe don't go out as much. But I agree with you too. In Canada, especially, it's not promoted well. But
what's interesting, because even if you go to LA though, right? Like it's sort of the three main places. There's like the Laugh Factory, there's the Comedy Store, and the Laugh or the other one, the Improv, and it's like for as many.
Yeah, but again with LA, like if you go to UCB or you go to I can't remember the other name of the place, you'll see way better comedy.
But I know. So why don't they? There's a promotional problem. I think that because that's what Brad. You're great at promoting your new product. We can relate everything to good businessmen. I'm not just saying that because you're here. Yeah. How do we make stand up back? Known to where it should, because it's the best. I mean, when like Mark Ford, when you have these guys come in here, I've been crying for an hour, like just crying. I want more people to know that exists everywhere.
Yeah, no. Listen. Last night I watched a roast of Rob Lowe. And it was so filthy and so mean, but it was very funny. And I mean, I think people love comedy. But see, I'll bet I'm just gonna bet you're useless at promoting, right? That's
I'm actually one of the good ones.
Okay, you're so soft spoken, and you don't seem like you'd be good at it at all.
No, I shove it down people's throats as much as I can.
Do you?
Especially in Canada, you have to because.
So what do you do to promote yourself?
I go all the regular routes. I hire people to the poster. I hire PR people. I do press. I do morning shows. I do radio.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem. It shouldn't be an individually. So what you guys should do is you should form a collective of comedians.
All right.
Have you done that yet?
No.
Okay, you're going to pay me for this. A great idea.
Okay, I'm listening.
You form a collective of comedians. You all contribute, almost like a union, but it's not about wages. It's about promotion.
Right.
And you do wide-scale promotion of comedy, because the problem is that the band promoters are enormous. They're worldwide, right? And they can take any shit band and put them on a stage with people that, large selling bands, and help those bands get known, and they can put them in front of thousands of people. But that can't happen with comedians. I mean, there's a thing in Montreal, and there's a few other festivals, but that's what you guys should be doing. You guys should be banding together, forming a collective, a worldwide collective of comedians, and start promoting comedy. And also doing what like rap star, rap stars share. They do the featuring thing where you have like some amazing singer and some shit rapper, and the rapper gets all the credit featuring the amazing singer, which I've never understood that. But they promote with each other by singing on each other's albums and singles. You want to pay me to help you guys? I'll take care of it. I'll set that up. Not that expensive.
But then you're talking about the worst people in the world working together.
No. You hire someone like me to put it together. You pay me a fee. Part of the money you're putting in every month is to pay me, or not me, but someone like me, and they would promote all of you as a collective. They're not getting you jobs.
Right.
They're promoting comedy as a viable source of entertainment, and they're putting it up in front of people. So people say, honey, why don't we go see some comedy tonight? Instead, why don't we get fucked up on, MDNA tonight and spin around like tops?
Right.
Do something else, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which is half of my show. So that couple would have a good time at my show.
Well, you have to get them there first. They got to find out about how to find you.
Well, I mean, you've been on Ferguson, right?
Yeah, I've been on Ferguson a couple
Late
times,
Show.
and John Oliver, and
I mean,
I've done okay with my career.
It's what, but it has
I'm well known around the world except Canada, where I'm from.
That's fucked. Yeah. So okay, that's part of the problem. We talked about this last time we were very angry by it, Brad. Maybe you can help us here. Canada doesn't want to help Canadians really until they find out you make it somewhere else, and then they kind of be like, oh, they're our own.
How do you work around that one?
Yeah.
How do you make a Canadian go, I want this product that hasn't been anywhere else but here?
Because he's a Canadian and he's a wicked.
Because we were all so proud of the hip, and everybody was saying, we're so good at promoting our own.
Yeah.
Over that concert, we were all jerking over each other. But
I think most small countries that don't see themselves significantly in the world stage suffer from the same thing.
I don't think so. Because I was just in Australia. They support their own.
You cannot. They're fucking mental over there. You can't count that country. It's a special country. What about Sweden or Finland? How many funny people come out of Finland?
I don't know, but the comedy boom for bringing English-speaking comedians over there is huge.
Yeah, but they're not promoting the Finnish comedians because they're not funny people, probably. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think Canadians do support Canadians. I think we do.
In the entertainment
scene, you can't just say that, though.
Well, I'm not just saying it because I think it's true. I mean, I think you have to realize we're a small country separated by massive, distances, and so it's harder for like a band from New York City can tour a 100-mile radius and make a living.
Yeah.
You can't do that in Canada. It's just harder to get to people. I mean, Canadian people have to find out about you. They have to know. They can't mind read. They need this is why you need to hire this person. They need to find out about who you are, hear you, find you funny. If they've ever heard of you.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if you go to them and they find out about you and they like what you did, they leave the show going, well, he'll be all right.
It's a Canadian.
But if you go to the States and you do well and you do a show, they look you up. They seek you out and they want to buy your stuff. Canadians don't do that.
Well, that's not been my experience, but I'm not an entertainer.
How is the development in real estate game?
It's terrible.
Is it?
I'm going to become a comedian.
Would you ever try
I'm
that?
going to grow a beard. Does that help? Does that make you funnier?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to grow a beard.
You kind of got some scruff going, actually.
I haven't shaved for 3 or 4 days. Haven't felt like it.
Are you angry? Are you angry at stuff?
No, I'm not angry.
Okay.
I don't like shaving. I find it, my face doesn't like it.
That's a good joke.
I've complained about razors before.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
we're
biggest
talking about razor.
fucking racket in the world. And
But your head does?
well, you know, my head loves it. You know, my head is insensitive.
Really?
And my face is sensitive.
Sensitive.
Yeah, it's weird. My head loves being shaved.
Wow.
I can shave in the dark, but my face is very finicky.
This is material.
Seriously, my face, I have to moisturize it twice a day.
Really?
I have to. My face needs it.
Bilal's got to do it 100 times a day. Bilal's in rough shape over there. Would you ever? I mean, you've accomplished so much in your life, Brad.
Tons.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm amazing.
Would you ever?
I'm joking,
Would you ever try stand-up comedy?
No, I don't think so.
What a challenge that would be, though.
I think it's the hardest thing in the world. Not the hardest thing in the world. I think there's harder jobs, but I think getting up on stage and trying to be funny, I think, is terrifying. I think it's very difficult.
Trust me, I've tried it 3 times and literally been carried off. All through. Well, the first time I was okay when I originally met Mark, and that would have been in like 2001 or 2. And when I met Mark, I mean, I brought him up on stage, and he did a funny set and probably made fun of me a little bit. But it is really amazing. You know, and I I'll use this sort of stark contrast of a very confident businessman, okay, Brad Lamb, who does very well for himself, and all the reasons for it, because the product speaks for that, for what he does. And by the way, that TIFF lounge that we're doing at Theater Park, bro, we'll talk about that in a second. That's like that. I at 45 floors up on King Street, you're higher than planes. Like, you watch the planes land. And there's something so magnanimous about it, like that feeling. You're just like, wow, and it's peaceful. It's like the heavens. Anyway, it's so beautiful. Thank you. Starting tomorrow, but you look at comedians, and they do things that literally, and this is what my friend Jamie Masada says from the Laugh Factory, which I find so amazing. He's like, there's probably maybe 100 people, literally 100 people consistently who can make people laugh. Like, consistently, night after night, for a career, for a living, do it for 30, 40, 50 years. But a lot of the time, you guys are, you're a bit self-deprecating, you're a bit insecure. We were talking earlier about your question. I find that so interesting, how you could do one of the toughest things in the world, but still, have kind of these fears.
Yeah.
So I think do you medicate before you go on stage?
No.
You don't?
No, I'm not like drugs?
Yeah.
No, I've never been
or
into
alcohol.
drugs.
Or alcohol.
No.
You don't relax by having a couple of wobbly pops in the back?
No. I mean, sometimes, but not to get through. No. Do you in the morning?
No, but I'll tell you this.
Before you-
I tell you this. I do a lot of speaking.
Yeah.
And some of it's funny, but it's only funny. It's funny to me, but I don't have to drink before I go on.
But you like to.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm going to a presentation to a bunch of hedge funds, and there's like, it's maybe a lunchtime thing, I might have a couple of drinks before I do it, just because it does relax me a little bit.
Oh,
it's not something I have to do.
You have a big business deal coming in.
I do. It's a $30 million real estate deal.
Do you potentially just like could that not close because you got another hanging
No.
out
I
west?
was actually talking to him on the way up here. That's why I was late. And
$30 million business deal.
well, 30 or 40.
Did you discard the phone call?
Yeah. I did.
Good for you.
Is he the coolest guy ever? Like, I mean, come on, that's hello. That's like if a $7,000 call came in right now, I'd take it. Like I'd leave my own show.
That's classic.
He's not wearing headphones. He can't hear the fake
we're
applause
doing
that's
a
happening.
nice-
Where were my fucking headphones?
Yeah, where are the headphones?
I got screwed.
Yeah, kind of what? Oh, there's an extra step. Well, you don't give him headphones. Anyway,
But I'm hearing
I don't know
I'm
if
hearing everything anyway.
Okay,
Only
yeah.
you guys are talking.
You
right?
can. You got.
Is
You
there
got
someone
us.
else?
Well,
no,
you just
I
hear-
sound cooler in a microphone though. That I know.
From juvenile to gentleman, it's the Todd Shapiro Show on Sirius XM 168. Canada laughs.